got it. So what we are going to do in this course, as the name suggests over here, we are going to design an electric machine. Now when the design word is used, this means it's not a fundamental course, something which you have done in the previous past, that was electric machinery fundamentals, and we talked about their transformer, we talked about induction motor, we talked about synchronous motor or synchronous generator. Here we are actually going to design it. And I don't promise it from the very first day, but I will try my utmost best that the department, whenever there is going to be a final and midterm of this course, I will try that it's not time bounded exam, which means I'm not going to ask the department or you that it's going to be 1 hour paper for the midterm, because whenever you are designing something, you cannot do it time bounded. So maybe I will fight with the department, with the chairman or whatever, so that they can give you, at least for midterm, they can give a 1.5 hour or 2 hour or something like that, and for the final. Because design can be different for everyone. Maybe you have selected some different B, you have selected some different B, so design can be different. So maybe I will try, I'm not making a promise here at present, but I will try my utmost best that it is not. Because I can't confine you that you have to do a design in just 20 minutes. A whole induction machine or a whole transformer cannot be designed. And if by chance we can't do that, then maybe I can give small portions of the design. Maybe I can, okay, I will give you, this is the current density, this is the value of B, this is the size of the core, design me the winding. Or design me, this is the size of the machine, this is the size of the speed of your machine or whatever, just design me the stator of that machine. So maybe a parts of that one. You can go through the previous papers as well. In fact, let me give you an idea as well. If you, I have this 2000, after 4 years actually this course is coming. So this is a big time. This is, I guess, session 2013 paper with me. I'm not concerned, actually I want to show you a paper from 2011. Here is my final exam. Okay, this is the final. So you can see it's a big one over there, and I don't make the time. You can see the time is 2 hours over here, and it's quite long as compared to. And one thing very important from day one, please everyone have a calculator with you in the class. This is very important. ये नहीं है कि वो मोबाइल के ऐप के ऊपर, have a calculator with your own hand so that you can do the calculation. I will ask anyone to do the calculation. Now, since if I go on towards the course outline of this course over here, since this does not have any lab, the course objectives, you can go through them yourself. I'm not going to read them out for you. But this course mainly two things, transformer and induction machine. But induction machine, talking about that, I'm not going to limitize myself just to induction machine. I will touch a little bit on the synchronous generator, and also I will discuss a permanent magnet DC machine design. Now these two things will be relatively new to this course. I'm going to add them, maybe like 2 weeks addition over there, but they will be just touching them, not the whole design, because if you want to do the whole design, induction motor is the most possible nominee. Why? Because it's 90% being used in Pakistan. So taking in view the Pakistan industry and all that, if even they have machine design being done over there, that is induction machine. Sadly, we don't have any permanent magnet DC machine design in Pakistan. All of them which you are using in your laptops, the power supply fans, cooling fans, they all are DC machines or permanent magnet, and they are all goes Chinese based or Western based over there. We are not going to design over there, but just a little bit touch I will do that over here. Now coming on to the course books over here, the course books, okay, the course books are here. Let me just, Design of Transformers by Indrajit Dasgupta, the first book which I have also in my hand over here. This is an Indian author. This book is very good as far as for the first 3-4 chapters are concerned for the distribution transformer, and by distribution transformers I am talking about those transformers which are outside your home or just outside this department. When I am talking about power transformers are those transformers which are in generating stations or step-up stations. Supposing in Tarbela and Mangla, you have 100 MVA or 100 megawatt generator over there, and with each generator at Mangla you have a power transformer which is actually going to step up that voltage, and that voltage is going to be transmitted to Lahore or some other line or whatever that location may be. So power transformer is a totally different design as compared to distribution transformer. Our main focus for like 4 or 5 weeks will be distribution transformer, because for distribution transformer we have an adequate amount of material in this book and some notes plus another book also. As far as power transformer is concerned, sadly in Pakistan we only have 2 manufacturers which are doing a power transformer design. One is Heavy Engineering Complex Kamra, and the second one is the PEL, which has just manufactured the first power transformer a few years back. Now power transformer design, you will also not find much detail on content books as well, because this is still a secretive design. Normally the world does not give any design unless and until they have developed something new. So we won't find them in the book also. But we will touch some design aspects as far as the windings are concerned, but as far as the whole design is concerned, power transformers I am not going to touch them in much detail. Distribution transformers are our main study in this course, and distribution transformers I am talking about something 11 kV primary voltage to 400 volt line to line 3-phase voltage. So this is the book, Indrajit Das Gupta. I don't have the PDF version. If anyone can find out the PDF version, maybe feel free to share with me also. The second book is The Design of Rotating Electric Machines by Joha. This book is a little complex, not that much good written, because it's coming on from some I guess Scandinavian author over here, so it's not that much good written English over there, but we will touch it at some point whenever we want to have a rotating machine. This is a rotating machine, induction machine design in this book. And the next book is The Principle of Electric Machine Design. This is a very old book, again R.K. Agarwal, but the last edition was at 2000, so we are still using it. And you can say this book and R.K. Agarwal are going to be the 2 books mainly used in this course. And the next one is The Brushless Permanent Magnet Motor Design. That is the second edition by Dr. Dulain over here, and this is this book. I will make this available on the web page also. This is a big book, and I can base my whole course on this book. It's a 400-page book, so I will not be going much in deep in this one. Maybe just like 2 or 3 chapters, I will just select them and then talk about them. The reason, because I don't want this course to be lagging behind from the advancements, because transformer design is now mature, power transformer design mature, induction machine design mature. The next motors in the industry, permanent magnet machines, switch reluctance motors, or the machines which are going to be used in electric cars. So when I'm talking about electric cars, the next generation of motors are going to be the permanent magnet DC motors, which is used in the Toyota Prius car, the hybrid car, which is on road in Pakistan. When I'm talking about induction motor, this is being used in Tesla. When I'm talking about a synchronous motor, it is being used in the world famous Nissan Leaf electric car. So these 3 or 4, and then I'm talking about switch reluctance motor, that is used by some Chinese manufacturers, Toyota I guess, they are using that one in their electric cars. So the electric cars are going to actually make this field again bloom over there, and you will find these 3 or 4 different types of motors majorly used in all the electric car design. So I just want to touch them a little. Maybe the next session will going to be there, then I will increase that content. But just from now on, for your semester, I am going to have a little touch, maybe 1 or 2 weeks on this permanent magnet brushless. Now as far as this course is concerned, if I go back on the marks or the grading policy over here, assignments are going to be there. So I will be giving assignments over there as the time. The quizzes are 15%, class participation 5%, and class participation is not just sitting here answering me. Okay, this is very important. Okay, you have to answer me. Today I will also ask some questions, and maybe I will be asking some bonus questions also. And I hope those who have studied with me in the machines course, they know I give absolute marks for those bonus questions over here. Then I have decreased a little bit percentage from the midterm and final. As you can see, they are not 30 and 40. The reason behind it is still not confirmed. I will be confirming them in 1 or 2 weeks now. The reason of actually decreasing them is this: I want to add a small hardware project. Now hardware project, back 2013 session, this project was based on something hardware design. Let me show you. Actually this is not here. This is the hardware project. So what you had over there, this was a transformer design hardware project. You can see there were 16 designs. We bifurcated 16 design to 2 or 3 students per each group, and then we gave this design. Now the main aim of doing this design was this, that you could design simple transformers by your own hand, by doing the windings by your own hand, not asking the hard road people to do it. Sorry. So, but if you see the voltage ratings of this design, they are very common ones. You can see 48 volt to 220, you can see 15 volt, 30 volt or whatever design. So you can use this transformers back again in some UPSs or whatever you want to use it. But last year or the last time 2013 session, out of this 16 design, maybe only 4 or 5 groups of 6 groups actually, they did the design or the winding themselves in the lab. Okay? So maybe I can give a certain similar type of a project, or secondly, since we are going to do this book also, that is the permanent magnet brushless motor design. So when we have done this after the midterm, then I will ask you to open any permanent magnet machine taken out from maybe your laptop cooling fan that is faulty, maybe from a cooling fan or whatever, and reverse engineer it. By reverse engineering means that you have the motor in front of you, give me the design parameters. You can measure the design, whatever, and you can write down the design values over there. But again, out of these two projects, certainly there will be one. Okay. As the course progresses, we will see how much space we have, then we will decide on it, that what type of hardware project we are going to do. This course does not have a lab, so that's why the only aim of giving a project in this course is this, that you have a hands-on experience. सिर्फ डिजाइन कागज पे करने से नहीं आता, you should have a practical hands-on. Now, when we are even designing a machine, मैं आप लोगों से machine नहीं डिजाइन करवा सकता. Reason behind it on the practical part, you don't have lamination, you don't cut that lamination, you can't cut it. So practically जो आप कर सकते हो, a transformer design or maybe a reverse engineered design, we will try to do that one in this course. So this is the grating braking policy over here. See anything from this grading policy, then we can move forward. And one thing, this book over here, as I told you, this book has a lot of designs, and what I will be doing over here, I have made tables over here. You can see, not this one actually. These are filled tables and unfilled. So instead of writing the whole design on this one or on the board, I have scanned all these tables from the book. I will just make those tables appear over here. I will write down on those tables instead of writing on the whole one, and you can just have the copy of them. ठीक है? Otherwise, अगर मैं ये tables पूरे के पूरे यहाँ बनाने बैठ जाऊँ, so the time is going to be long. So I have all these tables over here, and all these are empty. You can see I have added or disappeared all the data, so we can design whatever value we have over there. All these design tables, filled or unfilled, they will be available on the website. You can download it as the course progresses. Okay? So we will be designing the windings, we will be designing the core, we will design the losses, we will find out the leakage reactance. You can see the no-load losses, the performance parameters, and the tank design. Now you may argue on this one that tank design is a mechanical engineer domain. Maybe the strength wise it's a mechanical engineering domain, but since a tank is going to be used to dissipate the heat, so how much tank size you require, that is your prerogative. You have to design on this one that what should be the tank design. So we'll go through all of these aspects over there. These are all the designs of the 100 kVA transformer. Then we have other things as well. And before I move on towards this is the course overview point from week 1 to week 16. I hope to complete at least up till this one before the midterm. Before the midterm, at least this week number 9, so maybe I will have a little quick one at one point. So after week number 9, I will try to complete transformers. Before transformers or before midterm, it's going to be relatively simple. But when we are going to move towards induction machine design, things will become a little complex. Reason, a transformer is not a rotating device. ठीक है? So in transformer you only have everything static, so you don't need to do any complex calculation. But when you have a rotating machine such as an induction machine over there, then in that case you require double precaution, because the rotor is rotating. You have to design the stator also, you have to design the rotor as well. Plus there are not going to be winding designs in transformer, they are going to be winding designs in induction machine. So maybe like 3 or 4, maybe like 3 lectures maximum will be spent on the winding designs over here. As you can see, these are the winding designs of stator. Now those of you who have studied with me, I don't know the other students, they have gone through the lap winding and the wave winding we did in your DC machines course. Similar like winding diagrams, just a little bit more complex, they are going to be done over here. So some winding details are going to be done, and then we will go towards the game. So the last 2 lectures we are talking about the salient pole and the cylindrical alternator design. An alternator is the same synchronous generator that we have used in your machines course. And in this 16 weeks I will try to put somewhere the permanent magnet DC machine over here. Okay? So these are 16 weeks over here. This course outline is available at this web page. You can download it from here. I have the course books also written over there. You can go through the previous papers also. In fact, let me just show you. One thing very important in this course, short questions carry a very, very important percentage. The reason of actually recording this lecture is also this, that there have been some questions in the previous past that since I speak so fast, so you can't write it down. So when I'm recording this lecture, you can go through this one. I will upload them on the YouTube channel. You can go through them yourself again. So even on the ODL line you can get. So short questions are mainly coming from whatever I'm speaking over here or any data which is available in your books over there. So short questions will be a very important part, and if you can't answer them, it's going to be bad for you. You can see over here, this is just a quiz over here. You can see the quiz one, you have the short question over there, you have a short question over here, and this is a winding design, just a little bit parameter given, so you can find out the length of the winding. Then this is the midterm over here, and then I have the quiz 2 over here. Again, this is actually a numerical over here. In fact, this is not just one numerical. One thing very important, अक्सर यहाँ पे होता है कि जी हमने पहला पार्ट गलत कर दिया तो आगे का पार्ट उसकी बेसिस पर था तो वो भी गलत हो जाए. One thing very important, this course you can carry the error forward. कहने का मकसद ये है कि आपने अगर गलत ए पार्ट में गलत कर दिया, बी पार्ट में अगर आप गलत लेके भी जा रहे हो, I am going to see the procedure. So please, one thing very important while attempting any quizzes, midterm or final, please write down some text with the formula. Direct formula लिख के, formula भी नहीं लिखा, उसी के अंदर formula लिख दिया. Please write down some text कि आप किस एंगल से इस क्वेश्चन को लेके जा रहे हो, how you are attempting it. So maybe I will give you, if it's a 4 marks or 3 marks question, I can still give you, if the error is not that big, I can still give you 3 out of 4. But if you have not written any supporting English or any text with it, मुझे नहीं समझ आएगा कि आपने किस चीज की बेसिस पर सो किया. You have not written the formula, I cannot give any credit on this one. So you can see in this quiz 2, मैंने ऊपर एक मशीन का टेक्स्ट लिखा है. उस एक मशीन का एक पैरामीटर यहाँ कैलकुलेट हो रहा है, सेकंड पैरामीटर यहाँ कैलकुलेट हो रहा है, थर्ड पैरामीटर यहाँ कैलकुलेट हो रहा है, fourth parameter is the winding diagram. You can see I have given the same vertical line, those who remember the lap and the wave winding. Then this is the final exam, and you can see final exam I have given 120 minutes. Okay? I will try that it's not time bounded, at least time bounded paper on the paper it will be, but I will try to give it at least everyone has the liberty of using his or her own values. Okay? Then I can actually guess that how this whole course can go on. So this is the previous papers, you can go through them yourself, and this is the same permanent magnet machine book. Now coming on to some questions I have prepared for the transformer. कौन बताएगा? I'm not going to pick anyone can raise the hand and you can answer me. What is the difference between a core type and a shell type? अच्छा, one thing very important, please have your mask on. If you are not wearing a mask, I will not take your attendance. बैठे रहो. साथ वाले को कोरोना कराओ या उससे कोरोना लो, जैसा भी है, बट मैं अटेंडेंस नहीं लगाऊंगा. प्लीज एवरीवन हैव अ मास्क ऑन. मैं देख रहा हूँ, मैं अभी अटेंडेंस जब लगाऊंगा देन आई विल टेक दैट इनटू अफेक्ट. हाँ जी. हाँ, और कुछ. अच्छा, those of you who are not remembering it, what is a score type or a shell type over here, if I have, let me make a core type and a shell type. A core type, this is a single phase core type and a single phase shell type. This is shell, this is core. Okay, on this core and shell type transformer, if I have to include the windings, I am using this yellow color for the primary winding. So if I just want to have this one on, this is the primary winding. Actually, one thing very important, I will be using the primary winding and secondary winding word, but one thing very important, in the industry there is no such word as primary and secondary. There is only two words that is called as low voltage winding and high voltage winding. ठीक है, क्योंकि मेरी भी ज़बान पे खैर वो प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी छोड़ा हुआ है, but in the industry you have always low voltage winding and high voltage winding because a transformer is always based on that. And if we have a shell type transformer, you have the winding, the low voltage winding you can call it here, and if I have the you have the, this is the NS, this is NP over there. जी, कोई बताएगा ये N कोर टाइप और शेल टाइप में फर्क क्या है, फायदा क्या है, नुकसान क्या है? जी, come on, I have given the shape over here. This is a two-dimensional picture. If you want to convert it into a three-dimensional picture, you can do that as well. जी, तो बताएगा कोर टाइप एंड शेल टाइप एडवांटेज और डिसएडवांटेज. जी, दिस इज अ सिंगल फेज कोर टाइप एंड शेल टाइप. कैन यू गिव मी द एडवांटेज ऑफ वन ओवर द अदर और द डिसएडवांटेज ऑफ वन ओवर द अदर? फ्लक्स लीकेज. ओके, फ्लक्स लीकेज कम क्यों है शेल के अंदर? The two windings are done on the same limb, so there is a better flux linkage between the secondary winding or the low voltage winding and the high voltage winding. But since the two windings are done on the same limb, you are having less heat taken out from the winding. But on the core type transformer, their windings are separated from each other. All of this is going to be in some oil. That oil is going to be touching both of these windings. Oil is an insulator, remember that. So core type has a better heat radiation or a heat dissipation. But one thing very important, core type, it has a larger size as well, so certainly more weight. More weight means more core losses. So core type and shell type, one has an advantage and disadvantage. Now one thing very important over there, you cannot run a shell type transformers for 24 hours. Why? Because it will accumulate more heat. O-type you can run it because it's having a good heat comparison. So this is a single phase transformer, but if I move on towards a three-phase transformer, which is outside your home, so just beside this department, it's a three-phase co-type. So you will find all the distribution transformers, they are going to be co-type. Reason, they can work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year without any heat problem. But shell type transformer, they are normally used for power transformers. Reason, because if a Mangla Dam or Trivela Dam generator is working and it's working for like 8 hours or 10 hours a day, you can just run that transformer for 8 or 10 hours, cool it down for the next 12. Then in the next day you can again run it. But there are certain advantages also in shell type transformer. It has a better flux linkage, it has some less losses over there. So we will discuss them when a power transformer will come. But as far as a distribution transformer is concerned, and by distribution transformers I am talking about something 11 kV slash 400 volt, or now the new latest design is this, that a 33 kV slash 400 volt is also taken as a distribution transformer. 33 kV करने का फायदा क्या है जी? प्राइमरी करंट कम होगा, the low high voltage winding current कम होगा, so current is less, I square R losses are less. But there is a disadvantage also. 33 kV is a higher voltage, you will require more insulation. ठीक है? So the size may be a little increased, the transformer size, because of the insulation factor and all that. And certainly safety wise 33 kV is more lethal. और 11 kV भी नहीं छोड़ेगा, आप 11 kV को हाथ लगा लें वो भी नहीं छोड़ेगा, 33 kV तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं है. But still these both are taken as a distribution transformer voltages over there. Okay, now if we have a single phase core type versus single phase shell, we have just talked about it. What about three phase core versus three phase shell? How that will look like? So if I am talking about something like this, a three phase core, let me draw that one, a three phase core this is going to be the first limb, this is the first winding of single first phase, and this is the third phase winding. And when I'm talking about the secondary winding, or actually maybe the low voltage winding or the high voltage winding, this is going to be a three phase, this is three phase core type transformer. Now compare this one with a shell type transformer, which is a little different than this one. So this is three phase shell type, and the primary winding is for the first phase, you can call it here, second phase again here, third phase again here, and the secondary winding certainly will be on this phase. So this is a three phase shell type transformer. So this is the three phase shell type transformer. Any questions with this? This is three phase shell type and this one is three phase core type. You can see the visible difference in this one. Here the winding is almost compacted over here, and you don't have much space over there for the heat distribution from the. What is the largest loss in a transformer? Please, after this today's lecture, please go to Chapman chapter number 2, 2.1 to 2.9. Please go through the reading of that book, because we are going to discuss transformers up till midterm. So I require your knowledge about transformers to be 100% there. G, what is the largest loss? G, what is the largest loss in our transformer? Core loss. Why? Why not copper losses? G, why not copper losses? G, for those who have, I don't know, the other, कौन था other teacher कौन था आप मेरे साथ जो पढ़ा रहा था आप लोगों को? Air Kashi sir? So most probably he must have gone through this curve which I am now going to draw. So this was your primary current or secondary current, and here this one was P core, and this one was P copper, and if I draw the, oh sorry, this is not that P copper. Let me, this is P copper, and G, can anyone explain this curve over here? There are three curves over here. On this axis I have some watts, you can call it power loss. On the x-axis I have the load current or primary current or secondary current, if you want to talk about. G, क्या है? तो बताएगा, three curves, what do they depict or what they are telling me? Core losses constant है, क्यों constant है? Okay, material पे, सिर्फ material, size of the material नहीं है. Size or the weight or the volume of the material determines that what should be the core losses of your transformer. So they are constant. So the transformer is not having any change in the core losses, they are constant. The green color curve is the copper losses, and since copper losses, they are equal to I square R. So if they are equal to I square R, so current is increasing, so you can see it's an exponential increase over there. Now a point comes when these two curves are crossing each other. That point over here is the point when the copper losses are equal to the core losses. This is the point of maximum efficiency of your transformer, and it applies to any electrical machine. Either I am talking about induction machine or any electrical conversion machine which is based on magnetic field, synchronous, induction, transformer, anything. So whenever this condition is fulfilled, you are at the maximum efficiency of your transformer here in this case. This can be proved. ये prove करवाया था जी कोई यहाँ है जिसको याद हो कि मैंने करवाया हुआ है, ये करवाया जाता है. Now whenever a transformer is going to be designed, listen this carefully, whenever a transformer is going to be designed, you are going to design such that it gives you the maximum efficiency at the maximum time. Now अब इस ट्रांसफार्मर की बात करते हैं जो डिपार्टमेंट के बाहर है. It's a distribution transformer. It's taking that 11 kV, giving you that 400 volt 3 phase or line to neutral 220 or 230 volts. Now since we are only working in the morning time, हमारी क्लास 8 से 4 बजे तक होगी, this is the peak time. But whenever this transformer is designed for household community, their peak time is approximately at 4 or 5 pm to 9 or 10 pm. And they are designed in such a way that their maximum efficiency point is going to be at a load of approximately 70 to 80%. यानी कि शाम 4 बजे से लेके रात के 10 या 11 बजे तक उस ट्रांसफार्मर पे 80% लोड या 70% इन बिटवीन रहेगा. सो इट विल बी वर्किंग एट द मैक्सिमम एफिशिएंसी. बट दिन के टाइम में क्योंकि घरों में कोई नहीं है, बहुत थोड़े लोग हैं, so you are not getting that much load, so efficiency will be reduced. So a distribution transformer, whenever it is designed since it's working 24 hours a day. अब उसे 24 hours a day काम करना है, तो जो कोर लॉसेज है, ये तो कांस्टेंट है, ये तो आने ही आने हैं। लेकिन the copper losses, they are designed in such a way that 70 to 80% bracket gives you the maximum efficiency at the maximum load. कोई ऐसा टाइम भी हो सकता है, मे बी एट 100% लोड भी ट्रांसफार्मर काम कर रहा हो, मे बी ऑल आर ग्लूड टू टेलीविजन टू वॉच द क्रिकेट मैच और समथिंग लाइक दैट, तो मे बी उस वक्त 100% लोड हो, लेकिन उस वक्त एफिशिएंसी मैक्सिमम नहीं है, क्योंकि साल के 365 दिन उसमें से मैक्सिमम टाइम वी वांट द मैक्सिमम एफिशिएंसी ओवर देयर, ठीक है। So the maximum efficiency is designed in such a way so that you can have, and the largest loss in a transformer is always copper losses. Remember, they are variable and they are based, they are the largest. And whenever we are designing a transformer for distribution side, we always keep the core losses small. हम जैसे जैसे ये कोर्स आगे पढ़ेंगे, in the next few classes you will understand that core losses and copper losses, अगर आप एक को कम करते हो दूसरा बढ़ जाता है, इसको कम करोगे एक बढ़ जाएगा। और इसकी रीजन मैं जस्ट एक छोटा सा आंसर यहाँ पे दूंगा। आपके पास एक ट्रांसफार्मर है कोर टाइप विच यू आर डिजाइनिंग, यू हैव अ सिंगल फेज कोर टाइप ट्रांसफार्मर विच यू आर डिजाइनिंग ओवर हियर। इस ट्रांसफार्मर के ऊपर आपने वाइंडिंग की है, प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी ऑल्सो, प्राइमरी आपने इस साइड पे की है, सेकेंडरी आपने इस साइड पे की है। The size of the core is dependent upon what? G. The size of the core, not winding, not winding. The size of the core. If you are seeing in a three-dimensional picture, the size of the core, which means this distance multiplied by this distance, the cross-sectional area of the core. ये किस पे dependent है? किस पे? फ्लक्स, आपको कितना फ्लक्स चाहिए, दैट इज डिपेंडेंट अपॉन दैट वैल्यू। एंड व्हाट शुड बी द फ्लक्स डेंसिटी, दिस इज डिजाइनर प्रेरोगेटिव दैट यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 और मे बी 1.2 और 1.1। आप जितनी ज्यादा बी सिलेक्ट करोगे, ट्रांसफार्मर इज गोइंग टू सैचुरेट मोर। BH कर्व याद करो। So if you select higher value, you are actually having less area, लेकिन less area का नुकसान ये है कि ट्रांसफार्मर सैचुरेट होगा, थर्ड हार्मोनिक लॉसेस विल इंक्रीज, ठीक है। ये जरा थर्ड हार्मोनिक एंड एरिया पावर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स पढ़ चुके हो या भी पढ़ना है? पढ़ चुके हो, तो यू आर फेमिलियर विद द थर्ड हार्मोनिक लॉस। So when you have a saturation in any magnetic field device, you have a third harmonic losses increase. अगर हमने वो नहीं करना, D कम रखेंगे, एरिया ऑटोमेटिकली बढ़ जाएगा फॉर द सेम वैल्यू ऑफ फ्लक्स। अब जब एरिया बढ़ जाएगा, नाउ लिसन दिस वेरी केयरफुली, जब एरिया बढ़ जाएगा तो दिस ओवर हियर, इफ आई टेक अ क्रॉस सेक्शनल व्यू ऑफ दिस वन, इस चीज को मैं आपके सामने यहां बना रहा हूं इन अ क्रॉस सेक्शनल व्यू, दिस इज द कोर। इस कोर के ऊपर आपने ये वाइंडिंग की है, ठीक है। आई एम जस्ट शोइंग फ्रॉम द टॉप, ठीक है। सो आई एम नॉट शोइंग द वाइंडिंग, जस्ट वन ओवर देयर। नाउ इस कोर की पैरामीटर इज गोइंग टू डिसाइड हाउ मच लेंथ ऑफ वायर आई एम यूजिंग, ऐसा ही है। And the resistance of any wire is given as rho L over A. Area cross section हमें पता है, वो तो तार का साइज होगा, लेकिन length of wire is dependent upon the parameter of the core. अब one question over here, answer me very carefully. मेरे पास एक कोर है स्क्वायर शेप, अब मैं एक और टाइप ऑफ कोर बनाता हूं, instead of square I call it circular, and on this circular core same thing, and let me back on this over there, this is the same core. G, which one is preferable, square one or circular one? Reason? G, answer with a reason. Please remember, without a reason in this course, answer has no value. Which one? First one, second one? Why? क्यों? वो एजेस हैं, हम उन एजेस को थोड़ा सा टर्न कर देते हैं. आप ये कहते रहो कि शार्प होंगे एजेस, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हम थोड़ा सा उन्हें कर्वी बना देते हैं. Whenever you have a circle, इसकी कोर का एरिया है AC, C एंड सबस्क्रिप्ट. इसका एरिया ऑफ द कोर है AC. दोनों का एरिया सेम है, दोनों का एरिया सेम है. फर्ज करो मैंने स्क्वायर कोर का एरिया मैंने 1 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर रखा था, इसका भी एरिया 1 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर रखा है. एरिया सेम ही रखूंगा ताकि मेरे पास D सेम हो. नाउ यू आर कंपेयरिंग दिस टू. अगर दिस इज 1 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर, ये भी 1 है, ये भी 1 है, तो पैरामीटर कितना हुआ? 4 सेंटीमीटर. अब मुझे पैरामीटर ऑफ द सर्कल बताओ कितना होगा? दैट इज इक्वल टू 2 पाई r. r कितना है यहाँ पे? बिकॉज पाई r स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू 1 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर. फ्रॉम हेयर यू कैन फाइंड आउट दिस इज 1 over पाई अंडर रूट. And when you put this one in this 2 pi r, this is definitely going to be smaller than 1 centimeter. So in a circular shape, the parameter is always smaller. So हमारे पास हमें ये पता चल रहा है कि a circular core is better as compared to a square or a rectangle. इसका मतलब ये है कि I will prefer a circular core. And since this is a cross-sectional view, remember this is a very important point. In this core, there will be laminations like this. And I don't need to repeat कि laminations क्यों use करें. They are being used for eddy currents. Similarly, in this core, circular core, you will be having laminations. Now, to make a circular core, it's very, very laborious, and it is also wastage of the material also. क्योंकि आपको हर lamination एक डिफरेंट साइज की काटनी है. सो टू हैव लेस वेस्ट, व्हाट दे डू, दे ट्राई टू मेक अ सर्कुलर कोर इन सच अ वे. लेट मी मेक अ वन. नॉट परफेक्ट स्क्वायर, सर्कल ओवर हियर. This is our 3-step core. This is our 3-step core, and in this step core, what you are having, let me mark the laminations. This is one lamination. These are laminations over here inside this one. This is a 3-step core. इसका फायदा क्या है? आपको सिर्फ 3 डिफरेंट साइजेस की laminations काटनी है कोर बनाने के लिए. For those who are still lagging behind, this over here, this picture of this core or this 3-step core, this is the cross-sectional view of this thing from the top. अभी तक हम ट्रांसफार्मर को हमेशा स्क्वायर कोर या रेक्टेंगुलर कोर बनाते आए. But when we are going for a distribution transformer or a power transformer, we will make a 3-step core. Now the industry in Pakistan, they are following 8, 9 or 10-step core over there. Because 3-step core में भी vacant area कितना है यहाँ पे? It's not a perfect circle. ठीक है? And air gap is there. और air gap is a very bad conductor of magnetic field. So हम जितने steps बढ़ाएंगे उतना air gap कम होगा and we will have an advantage. यानी कि leakage flux कम होगा. बट अगेन जितने स्टेप्स हम बढ़ाते जाएंगे उतना हमारे लिए लेबर बढ़ती जाएगी, मटेरियल हमें थोड़ा वेस्टेज ज़्यादा होगा. बट इन योर डिज़ाइन व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू, वी आर गोइंग टू गो टुवर्ड्स 8, 9 और 10. इनफैक्ट आई गेस योर बुक आल्सो हैज 11 स्टेप कोर आल्सो ओवर देयर. 11 स्टेप कोर के अंदर एरिया जो बीच में रह जाता है वो बहुत थोड़ा है. ठीक है? आई होप दिस इज क्लियर ओवर हियर. So a step core, 9-step core or a 10-step core or maybe 11-step core, you are going to have very, very small loss over there. What is Lenz's law? मैं ये भी सारे these are very long questions, maybe I can't complete it over here. I will upload them on the web, you can go through them yourself also. जी, Lenz's law. अच्छा, I am rephrasing this question here. Listen this very carefully, everyone please. मेरे पास एक core है and this is a 1:1 ratio single phase core type transformer, and on this transformer this is the primary winding. ये please मुझे याद करवा देना कि मैं बार बार इधर से I have to shift on this one. This is my secondary winding, and here there is a load connected. It's a 1:1 ratio transformer, nothing fancy. Listen this very carefully, the question. It's a 220 volt supply applied. Secondary side is open circuited, which means there is no load attached. A small current is flowing over here, which is 0.1 ampere, because there will be some current taken as the no load current of the transformer. इस कोर के अंदर से एक फ्लक्स फ्लो करना शुरू हो जाएगा, and this flux will be sinusoidal in nature, by which I mean, since you are applying a sinusoidal supply, in the positive cycle flux will be flowing in this direction, and then afterwards, after the first positive cycle, the next positive cycle, it will be moving off opposite. So the flux value in RMS, here inside the core, supposingly it is 4 milliweber. ठीक है, RMS वैल्यू AC फ्लक्स फ्लोइंग ओवर देयर, ये तब फ्लो कर रहा है जब मैंने सेकेंडरी पे लोड नहीं अप्लाई किया. अब अगर मैं सेकेंडरी पे लोड अप्लाई कर देता हूं, कोर के फ्लक्स पे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? आंसर में आई एम रिपीटिंग द क्वेश्चन. प्रीवियसली व्हेन द लोड वाज नॉट कनेक्टेड, you had a core flux of 4 milliweber. Secondary winding was not connected to any load. Now you have connected that load with some resistors whatever over there, so maybe like 1 ampere current यहाँ flow करना शुरू हो गया. कोर के फ्लक्स पे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? Will it 4 से 5 होगा, 6 होगा, या 4 से 2 होगा? क्या होगा? जी एनीवन? जी प्लीज. इंक्रीज क्यों? यानी कि टोटल फ्लक्स कोर का 4 से ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा, 4 से 5 हो जाएगा या 6 हो जाएगा. जी एनीवन एल्स विद अ डिफरेंट आंसर, और मे बी दिस वन सेम? डिक्रीज करेगा. क्यों? ओके, तो 4 से, यानी कि बेसिकली अगर मैं यहाँ 1 एम्पेयर था, तो अगर ये 4 मिलीवेबर से 2 हो जाएगा, और अगर मैं इसको 2 एम्पेयर करंट कर दूंगा तो वो 0 भी हो जाएगा. मतलब आपकी लॉजिक के हिसाब से मैं ज्यादा लोड बढ़ा दूं सेकेंडरी पे, तो वो 4 से नेगेटिव में भी जाना शुरू हो जाएगा. इंक्रीज करेगा. क्यों? दोबारा? एन वाई? नहीं. जी एनीवन? हाँ जी. लास्ट रो एनीवन? मैंने शुरू में एक बात की थी, अभी सबसे पहले अभी एक कर्व आपको दिखाई थी. दिस वाज अ स्ट्रेट लाइन. कोर लॉसेस, दैट इज पी कोर, दे आर कांस्टेंट. और ये कांस्टेंट क्यों है? क्योंकि कोर फ्लक्स कांस्टेंट रहेगी. नाउ लिसन व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. प्रीवियसली इट वाज 4 milliweber. द ओनली फ्लक्स वाज 5p दैट वाज बीइंग प्रोड्यूस्ड. 5s प्रोड्यूस नहीं हो रहा था. जैसे ही आपने सेकेंडरी लोड अप्लाई किया, Now phi s is opposing phi p, so that ड्यू टू लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी अगर यहाँ 2 एम्पेयर करंट फ्लो शुरू हो गया है तो अब यहाँ पे 2.1 एम्पेयर करंट फ्लो करेगा, जिससे क्या होगा, प्राइमरी वाइंडिंग फ्लक्स बढ़ गया लेकिन उसको अपोज करने वाला सेकेंडरी वाइंडिंग फ्लक्स उतना ही है. सो दिस फ्लक्स विच इज 4 मिली वेबर, दैट इज द नेट फ्लक्स, दैट इज phi p minus phi s will remain 4 मिली वेबर. क्या है? देखो phi p कहां से आया? प्राइमरी वाइंडिंग से. जब आपने सेकेंडरी वाइंडिंग पे कोई लोड नहीं अप्लाई किया था तो 0.1 एम्पेयर करंट फ्लो कर रहा था. 0.1 के कॉरिस्पॉन्डिंगली 4 मिली वेबर फ्लक्स प्रोड्यूस हो रहा था. ठीक है, अब सेकेंडरी वाइंडिंग के अंदर 2 एम्पेयर करंट फ्लो करना शुरू हो गया. सेकेंडरी वाइंडिंग में 2 एम्पेयर करंट फ्लो होगा तो लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन एनर्जी, वो करंट कहां से आया? प्राइमरी से ही आना है. इसका मतलब इट्स अ 1-to-1 रेशियो ट्रांसफार्मर. सो यहां 0.1 से अब सीधा 2.1 एम्पेयर करंट होगा. 2.1 एम्पेयर करंट का मतलब यह है कि मोर फ्लक्स विल बी प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय द प्राइमरी, लेकिन सेकेंडरी फ्लक्स अकॉर्डिंग टू लेंज़ेस लॉ इज अपोजिंग दैट फ्लक्स. सो द प्राइमरी फ्लक्स माइनस द सेकेंडरी फ्लक्स, दैट इज 4 मिली वेबर, दैट विल रिमेन सेम. सो ट्रांसफार्मर का फ्लक्स चेंज नहीं होता. दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. नाउ व्हेन आई यूज द वर्ड कांस्टेंट फ्लक्स, this does not mean कि कोई DC flux है. Remember, transformer does not work at DC. It's purely sinusoidal AC RMS value which I am talking about. So the flux value which is 4 milliweber is the RMS value of that flux. और अगर आप इस लोड को 2 एम्पेयर से 10 एम्पेयर भी कर दोगे तब भी उस पर कोई फर्क नहीं आएगा. And this is the sole reason that the total net flux is not changing, the core losses are not changing. अगर core flux change होगा तो core losses भी change होंगे. क्यों? core losses किस पे dependent है? There are 2 types of core losses. One is the eddy current loss, other one is the magnetization loss. और magnetization loss किस पे होता है? जी कुछ याद है? If I have this one as VP, applied voltage, so this one is I naught current, no load current. If I take its perpendicular over here, this one is I hysteresis plus eddy, this one is IM. ठीक है, और ये दोनों कहाँ फ्लो कर रहे थे? They were flowing in the magnetizing branch of your transformer. Now I am making the magnetizing or transformer equivalent circuit. This is RP, JXP, this is R0, this is JXM, this is A/1, this is RS, this is JXS. I0 कहाँ फ्लो कर रहा था? Here. And the two components of I0, one is this hysteresis plus eddy, this one is IM. जी वन इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, अभी पता चल जाएगा ट्रांसफार्मर कितना याद है. R0 and JXM, why they both are in shunt or in parallel? Why they are not in series? यानी कि what I am asking, ये ऐसे क्यों नहीं है? R0 and JXM पैरेलल में क्यों? लॉजिकल रीजन. इक्विवेलेंट सर्किट बनाया था, चैप्टर नंबर 2 मशीन, आर्टिकल 2.4 2.5. जी कमल यार, गिव मी एन आंसर, रॉन्ग सही कुछ तो दो. सीरीज में क्यों नहीं? मेरा क्वेश्चन सिर्फ ये है, आपने पैरेलल में लगा दिया, दोनों अलग अलग है. अगर मैं सीरीज में लगा दूं तो व्हाई इट कांट बी मॉडल? हमने ये ट्रांसफार्मर का मॉडल किस बेसिस पे बनाया था? दिस वाज बेस्ड ऑन, दिस वन वाज स्टेटर वाइंडिंग मॉडल, दिस वन वाज core model. This one was ideal transformer. This one was secondary winding. तो कोर के मॉडल के अंदर R0 और JXM दोनों पैरेलल में क्यों हैं? R0 किसको आइडेंटिफाई कर रहा है? एडी करंट लॉस और हिस्टैरिसीस लॉस. एडी करंट लॉसेस दे आर हैपनिंग, क्यों हो रहे हैं? एडी करंट लॉसेस दे आर हैपनिंग बिकॉज ऑफ रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ फ्लक्स. अगर रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ फ्लक्स नहीं होगा तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, एडी करंट्स नहीं होंगे. हिस्टैरिसीस लॉसेस क्यों हो रहे हैं? बिकॉज यू आर ट्रेवलिंग द BH कर्व. JXM क्या है? व्हाट इज JXM? तो बताएगा क्या? आई कांट हियर. मैग्नेटाइजिंग ब्लॉक क्या अंदर क्या चीज है? कोर की कौन सी चीज है जिसको हम मॉडल किया है? ये तो रटा रटा जुमला है कि मैग्नेटाइजिंग लॉसेस है. किस चीज के मैग्नेटाइजिंग लॉसेस है? Whatever core you are using, listen to very important. JXM, if I take this one, separate it, this is 2 pi FLM. What is LM? Inductance of that core. और inductance of the core कहाँ से आई है? This LM is equal to N square divided by R core. What is this R in the denominator? जी, wow. ये these are the perks of the semester system. आगे दौड़ से पीछे छोड़. जी, what is this denominator R core? कम से कम क्लास से कोई एक तो जवाब दे दे. L is equal to N square by what? Reluctance. What is reluctance? हाँ जी, करंट नहीं है, हम कोर की बात कर रहे हैं. मैं वही बात कर रहा हूँ, वही चीज है, वो चीज वही है. हाँ जी, व्हाट अगेन? मोमेंट ऑफ फ्लक्स इज जस्ट द एनालॉगस ऑफ रेजिस्टेंस. इट इज द ऑपोजिशन टू द फ्लो ऑफ मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इनसाइड द कोर. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज रिलक्टेंस. अब रिलक्टेंस ऑफ द कोर किस पे डिपेंडेंट है? इसका भी फार्मूला याद करवाऊं. आर कोर जी किसके इक्वल था? म्यू नॉट म्यू आर LC ओवर AC. म्यू आर क्या था? रिलेटिव परमेबिलिटी. LC क्या था? लेंथ ऑफ द कोर. AC क्या था? एरिया ऑफ द कोर. तो अगर मेरे पास एक ऐसा मटेरियल है, नाउ लिसन वेरी केयरफुली, आंसर करना, एक ऐसा मटेरियल है जिसकी रिलेटिव परमेबिलिटी ज्यादा है, तो JXM पे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? आंसर नहीं, कम हो जाएगी, ज्यादा हो जाएगी. XM ज्यादा होगा. इफ यू गो बैक ऑन योर मैग्नेटाइजिंग ब्रांच, IM करंट कम हो जाएगा. IM करंट कम हो जाएगा, I0 करंट कम हो जाएगा, नो लोड करंट कम हो जाएगा, मैग्नेटाइजेशन लॉसेस कम हो जाएंगे. अगर आपने एडी करंट लॉसेस को कम करना है, क्या करेंगे? R0 की रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ानी है. उसके लिए क्या करेंगे? लेमिनेशंस की थिकनेस कम करेंगे. थिकनेस ऑफ लेमिनेशंस के दरमियान में जो सिलिकॉन रेसिन यूज कर रहे हैं वो अच्छी क्वालिटी का परफेक्ट इंसुलेटर यूज करेंगे. प्लीज रिवाइज योर ट्रांसफॉर्मर. दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. मैं यहाँ ट्रांसफॉर्मर रिवाइज करवाने के लिए नहीं हूँ. दिस इज जस्ट वेरी स्टार्ट. प्लीज रिवाइज इट. ठीक है. तो ऑल दीज क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आई हैव रिटन ओवर हियर. लीकेज फ्लक्स. चलो जी, व्हाट इज लीकेज फ्लक्स? कहाँ होता है? कोर में. या हो चुका है? You have mask. I am asking for the mask. आप दोनों. मैं अटेंडेंस नहीं लगाऊंगा. ये देख लो. The flux which is not linking with the winding, or supposingly if I am talking about here, if I draw it the flux which is linking through the air, which is not flowing through the core or through the other winding, that is the other secondary winding, that is called as the leakage flux. And this is the non-useful flux or wasted flux over there. And we require it to be very, very small so that our losses are under control. What is percentage impedance? ये भी हम पढ़ चुके हैं. ट्रांसफार्मर आर्टिकल आई गेस 2.9 न्यूमेरिकल भी सॉल्व कर चुके हैं ट्रांसफार्मर के. जी ये इक्विवेलेंट सर्किट आपके सामने है. दिस इज द प्राइमरी वाइंडिंग, दिस इज द सेकेंडरी वाइंडिंग. ओके जी इज द प्राइमरी वाइंडिंग एंड सेकेंडरी वाइंडिंग. You want to take the secondary winding to the primary side. You will multiply it by A square. A ratio 1 is the turn ratio. So when you want to find out Z equivalent, what this will be equal to? This will be equal to RP plus A square RS. Secondary side taken on the primary side plus JXP plus J A square XS. This all is called as the series equivalent impedance. Converted it on percentage scale is called as the percentage impedance. And one thing very important now, percentage impedance, this converted into a percentage scale, WAPDA or specifically LESCO here in Lahore, they ask for a 4% percentage Z and this is fixed. Reason, percentage Z, since this is the series impedance of a transformer. अब WAPDA के जितने भी ट्रांसफार्मर है 11 kV के ऊपर वो सारे के सारे पैरेलल में लगे 11 kV लाइंस के ऊपर. अगर किसी एक की इम्पीडेंस कम होगी या ज्यादा होगी तो व्हाट विल हैपन, द करंट्स आर गोइंग टू बी डिफरेंट इन ईच वन ऑफ देम, द ड्रॉप्स आर गोइंग टू बी डिफरेंट. सो WAPDA हैज अ फिक्स्ड वैल्यू दैट दिस वैल्यू शुड बी फिक्स्ड एट 4%. 4% से ना कम ना 4% से ज्यादा. Otherwise there will be circulating currents flowing inside each branch or each transformer. So whenever a WAPDA is asking you to deliver a transformer, their normal value is 3.98 to 4.02%. So whenever you are designing a transformer, at the end of your calculation, अगर आपका percentage Z 4.1, 4.2 आता है, the whole design is rejected. You go back on the very start, take some other value and then design it. The first parameter of a successful design is percentage Z. वो 4% आना चाहिए. This is for distribution transformer. For power transformer, this same value of percentage Z is 8 or 9%. Reason तो बताएगा मुझे. For power transformers at Tarbela or Mangla, this percentage Z value is kept on the higher side, maybe something 7, 8, 9, 10. क्यों? जी, they are very big transformers and if by chance there is a short circuit, larger impedance means that the short circuit current will be limited. अब उन transformers, they are very expensive, so we don't want a damage to be done. They are already working at very high voltages, 133 kV, 200 kV or 300 kV. So their impedance is kept on the higher side so that even there is a short circuit, the current can be limitized over there. But for distribution transformer, because you are converting from 11 kV to 400 volt, अगर यहाँ पे impedance 4% की बजाय 6 या 7 रखेंगे, this means there is a more voltage drop. आपको 220, 230 नहीं मिलेंगे. आपको फिर 210, maybe 190 something मिलेंगे. So there will be more voltage drop. So this value of percentage Z for distribution transformers, at least in Lahore or at least overall Punjab, it is kept at 4%, and then for power transformers it's on the higher side, so that the series impedance is changed over there. Please kindly go through per unit also. I hope you still remember it, but please go through it. Article number 2.5 and 2.6 Chapman I am talking about, and have an idea how you can convert any running value into per unit or percentage per unit also. Okay? So please do go through the numericals over there. Then we have talked about distribution and power cost analysis. Now, any cost analysis cannot be done in this course because I am not going to teach you कि जी copper sheet या copper तार कितने रुपए किलो है या silicon sheet कितने रुपए किलो है. But if you can develop a software, maybe when you are working in the industry, so you know which material cost which, what labor cost what, you can design an effective software for transformer design. ठीक है. तो कॉस्ट एनालिसिस इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट इन ट्रांसफार्मर डिजाइन. अच्छे से अच्छा ट्रांसफार्मर बनाना कोई मसला नहीं है. हमें पता है ट्रांसफार्मर डिजाइन बनाने के लिए अच्छा मटेरियल होना चाहिए, कॉपर अच्छी होनी चाहिए, बैलेंस ऑफ कॉपर लॉसेज एंड कोर लॉसेज होना चाहिए, साइज कम्पैक्ट होना चाहिए, एवरीथिंग. बट कॉस्ट इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. आवर मार्केट, पाकिस्तानी मार्केट इज वेरी वेरी मच कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव. डिजाइन होगा तभी आप सर्वाइव कर सकते हैं. Otherwise, in Pakistan, I guess there is only 2 or 3 big manufacturers from which WAPDA is actually purchasing the transformer. Otherwise, बेशुमार है, 12-13 है. And in fact, अगर ये हमारी if this pandemic is curtailed and something like that, maybe after the midterm, we can have a small trip to some transformer distribution, transformer manufacturing facilities. ठीक है? Maybe PAL or something. But again, this is again depending upon the this corona pandemic and all that stuff. Okay, just last question, then we can just finish it off and you can go through the remaining questions yourself. Why transformer rating is in VA, not in kilowatts? दोबारा? VM? मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही है. V? Why not V? Why not kilowatt? There is active power. हाँ बोलो. लोड जो मर्जी ले आ गए थे. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द ट्रांसफार्मर. किलोवाट आर नहीं, किलोवाट. आर कभी नहीं लिखते. Transformer is basically a series device which is taking power from one level, converting it into another level. So the load is having P also demand, Q also demand, and that has to travel through the transformer. So transformer has to give P as well and Q as well. So it's always rated as VA or KVA or MVA, and it's not rated in kilowatts or something like that. ठीक है, please kindly go through this, some questions over there. I am not talking about in much detail. There is one thing I missed, short circuit, open circuit, but anyway, this is all from my side. Any questions, Ji?